Thanks very much, and good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here, all the way from London. I want to tell a little bit of a human story, but also some of this might sound a bit high level, but I'm going to try and kind of bring it down to earth. So I think if I had to flee my home, the first thing I'd probably grab is my mobile phone, because it's my security and connection to everything and everyone. And I think that's probably the same for a number of you today in the room. So it shouldn't really be a surprise for us when we hear that often the first thing that refugees arriving on the shores of Europe need, sometimes ahead of shelter and food, is a mobile phone so that they can stay connected and informed. Mobile phones can be a lifeline for displaced populations, and not just for those arriving in Europe. The ability for displaced people to use their mobile phone to communicate, access crucial information, including educational and financial services, regardless of where they are in the world, is vital. One person is displaced every 2 seconds. They're the latest stats from UNHCR. And the scale of displacement is global and unprecedented. And it's also becoming more protracted in nature. According to the UN, this year alone, more than 135 million people across the world will need humanitarian assistance and protection. And the scale of response required in these situations is placing increasing pressure on the humanitarian system to find new approaches and partnerships to meet these challenges. But there is optimism that digital solutions and the ubiquity and pace of growth of mobile technology can enable more efficient, effective, secure, and most importantly, dignified aid. The mobile industry connects over 5 billion subscribers, and 93% of refugees live in an area with 2G or 3G coverage. By 2025, the number of connections is expected to reach 9 billion, with 3 out of 4 mobile connections made through a smartphone. The industry, therefore, has a really crucial role to play in supporting refugees and displaced populations in all corners of the globe and also at all stages of their journeys. And the mobile industry is stepping up to this challenge, and we're seeing a whole range of examples, from extending coverage to refugees in northern Uganda and providing Wi-Fi hotspots on the shores of Europe. Also, mobile operators are developing translation apps and information portals to support refugee integration, and they're partnering with humanitarian organizations to deliver cash transfers through mobile money. Although it's increasingly recognized that access to mobile technology and the internet can have a transformative impact on the lives of refugees, there's still a long way to go in order to maximize the opportunities that digital technologies present and, importantly, minimize the risks. The fact is that many of these technologies already exist, but it's the models and modalities of how we leverage them to achieve maximum impact and the role of the private sector within this that's not yet well understood or proven at scale. So to help accelerate this delivery of a digital humanitarian future, we at the GSMA, which is the Trade Association for Mobile Network Operators, have launched a new program called Mobile for Humanitarian Innovation. It's a 4-year partnership with the UK Department for International Development, and we aim to reach our vision and mission by catalysing partnerships and innovation through an innovation fund, generating robust evidence to really understand how people who have been displaced are using mobile phones and the key challenges they face to access ownership and usage of phones. We advocate for changes in policy environments to accelerate the use of digital services. And finally, we disseminate insights and profile achievements. At the GSMA, we're working with the mobile industry and humanitarian organizations to test new business models focusing on 5 thematic areas. These are digital identity, mobile financial services, mobile-enabled utilities, climate resilience, and gender and inclusivity. So to help you envisage how these 5 areas can positively impact the lives of refugees, I want you to imagine the following scenario. Eunice flees from South Sudan into northern Uganda with her 2 young daughters. Although she's lost her ID documentation, she's biometrically registered when she arrives in Uganda, which means she has the necessary documentation to obtain a SIM card and a mobile money account. She receives monthly cash transfers from a local NGO through her mobile money account so she can afford nutritious food and reduce the risk of her children becoming malnourished, whilst also having the choice to decide what she wants to spend her money on. She's able to save enough with the help of a mobile money savings product to invest in a solar home system, which she pays off in small installments. She has solar-powered light in the evenings for her children to study, access to financial services, including remittances from family members. She's also started a small tailoring business by learning skills online. So beyond essential communication services, mobile technology is benefiting Eunice and her family's life in a whole multitude of ways. But the reality is that this digital ecosystem has not been realized in many humanitarian contexts yet. Even the most basic ICT and mobile services can be a lifeline for refugees, but too often they're excluded from digital services. This can be down to policy and regulatory barriers where refugees aren't able to own a SIM card in their own name, affordability constraints due to an inability to legally work, digital literacy barriers, or even just a lack of understanding or knowledge of the benefits that can be brought about from access to connectivity in the internet. So through building bridges between the mobile industry and the humanitarian sector, catalyzing these innovative solutions, developing insights and tools, and investing in new partnerships and services, the GSMA aims to bring multiple pieces of these puzzles together to help shape an inclusive, impactful digital humanitarian for refugees and other affected populations. So just as refugees need food, water, healthcare, and shelter, they need access to information. It's impossible to rebuild your life without it. So I'm looking forward to discussing some of the experiences that we've learned to date and our plans going forward, and digging into some of the examples that we've seen, especially in East Africa.